Hey, we're Abe and Mel from Tiny Home Tours.
We've been living in our van for the past 3 years, traveling from the East Coast to the West Coast with a couple of our favorite places to visit, Washington and Vermont.
But going into year 4, we're switching things up and we're building a completely custom tiny home on wheels unlike one you've ever seen before. When looking for a truck, it is completely different than looking for a van, which is what we've been used to in the past. With a van, we knew before we wanted a Ford Transit high roof extended. Easy as that. We could look for it very quickly. But with a truck, there's a lot of different things to consider. There's the truck size, the engine size, then also the box size, the chassis size, so many different things to take into consideration when finding the perfect rig for our expedition truck. Now it's our turn to figure out what cab and box we want to fit our personal wishes and needs. And we're wanting to build it out by spring. And with it being mid-October, we've got a lot of searching to do. So we're gonna get started on that. Luckily, in the past couple weeks, we found a truck that's about 10 hours away from us. It is very clean and has low miles.
We started with this Ford F550. We thought we were gonna have to get an F450 because of budget constraints, but we found this in Northern California. Had about 19,000 miles on it. Super clean. I'm from Michigan, so really nice to see one that's not filled with rust.
So when it comes to the chassis, we went with a standard cab, and then we did an 84-inch cab axle length. That's from the back of the cab to the center of the axle. That's the smallest we could go in order to fit our box that we wanted.
It was an old construction utility truck, so the first thing we gotta do is get rid of the utility box off the back. Hopefully we can get a little money for that. And we wanna get rid of the bumper, but we'll have to wait on that just because we're not quite sure what we want to go with. We found a dealership a couple miles north of us that we're going to go take a look at today. They have 12-foot and 16-foot boxes. We're kind of going to estimate from there the 14-foot boxes. Well, in the 16-foot box, we marked off where a 12 and 14-foot box would be just to kind of get a comparison all in one place. And the 16-foot box was definitely a little too big for us, though it felt very luxurious. We knew it was going to be over our 25-foot limit that we wanted to stay around. 12 was doable, but it didn't seem like it was quite the upgrade where we could fit everything in that we wanted to get in our build. 14 seemed pretty much perfect, but those were hard to find as far as buying straight off the market, so generally you are gonna have to order those.
16-foot box, which feeling 14's ideal. This is like super luxury.
So we ended up going with a new box. We took a look at a lot of the used boxes, but quite a few of those were pretty beat up, and being this is a new home that we're creating and we want to keep it for a long time, we didn't want to deal with a bunch of leaks, which a lot of the older boxes have that.
Just 3 days ago, we purchased our truck. Now we're gonna put an order in for our brand new Morgan box. Gonna drop the truck off and start the planning and layout.
As far as the layout goes, we have a couple things on our wish list. We'd like a fridge, freezer, comfortable seating, a desk.
A couple spots for some motorcycles, and also since we have available size in this truck, we want to put in a fixed shower.
As far as the aesthetics and theme of the build, we really loved our previous van build, so we're gonna continue with that in this truck build.
It's been 2 months. Our box has been built at the factory and now been installed. So we're gonna head to Salt Lake City to pick it up.
We're gonna go ahead and bring this over to the Mako in Layton. We actually were deciding on whether we wanted to paint it or not. We ended up stopping in at that location, met the owner. He took us to the back, showed us the process of how they do the painting, and they actually have a giant booth that they've done converted schoolies before, so that made us very comfortable.
And because of the reviews that they had, it made us even more confident that they could complete this job.
Hi, my name's Jeremy. I'm here with Abe and Mel today. I run Mako in Layton, Utah, and love helping people.
Jeremy is allowing us to go to the back to film the whole process. Jeremy and Abe are going to be sanding the whole thing.
I did notice that they redid a little of my attempt at sanding. So we got it in the booth today. What is the next process from here on out?
We did some of the prep work outside of the booth. We've brought it in now. And we've done the first stage of cleaning. We blew it off and we did a wax and grease cleaner in prep work for the paint. Everywhere that we don't want paint, we have masked up those areas. And we're going to be getting ready to put an epoxy primer on it so that it has a direct to metal effect on all of the rivets and the side posts and stuff. It's going to give us a terrific base to build on. We're going to be able to do what's called wet on wet. We'll be able to apply the epoxy wet, let it flash dry, and then we'll be able to go straight to our next phase, color. And then on top of that, you will get the clear coat. And so you're actually going to get painted 6 times with 2 coats of each. And it's not a small vehicle, as you can see, even if it is a tiny home.
We went with a Subaru autumn green color. Kind of has a blend of like a bronze, a brown, and a green, obviously, depending on the lighting.
Once our box was all finished, installed, and painted, we made our way to Dark Wolf Artisan Shop in Kansas, where we're gonna turn our box truck into an expedition truck for full-time tiny living. Before starting the build out, what we need to do first is finalize our layout. So right here is going to be the door. Right beside that, we're going to have a small couch and a little desk area. And then so right up here, we'll have a little window so you can see out all directions. We'll have a window back here, and then a window right above the kitchen area. Not too much planned for here. I have a little pass-through for emergencies. And then over in this corner is going to be our Norcold fridge. Over here is going to be our L-shaped kitchen cabinet. We will have our sink, our window to look out of, and then some uppers right up in this area. Then we have coming right back here is going to be the bed. It's gonna be pretty high, so right here we're gonna have some little steps. So after you come right into the door, right beside it is going to be the bathroom. Estimated size, maybe 30 by 30. Right beyond that is going to be the dresser. From the dresser, actually, from the back of it then, is where the little mini garage and big garage is going to be. So the mini garage is going to be for like storage, and the big garage is going to have the motorcycles. So that's sort of like the general layout.
Are there any big issues you're seeing here that we should think of something else, or you think
No.
it'll be able to happen?
I don't see any big issues. It's just trying to wrap my head around, you have a cabinet that's going to be here and then a cabinet that goes back there. Hi, I'm Kevin, and I'm the carpenter building out the interior of the truck.
You can plan out all you want, your layout, but until you have the box in your hands and you're able to measure it exactly, things can change a little bit. One of the things we didn't take into consideration were the studs and where the studs landed according to our windows and doors and our different cabinetry. Due to the studs, we did have to shift the entry door either forward or back a little bit. We didn't want to move it forward because our couch desk cabinet had to be a certain dimension, so we moved it back a little because the dresser in the back could be whatever remaining size we had. Since our layout is now all finalized, Kevin started to tape the ground off to get a little bit more of a visual and really get these measurements dialed in for the blueprints. Once the tape was down, we realized the bathroom might have been a little bit too small to be able to comfortably sit on our composting toilet. So we had to make a little bit of an adjustment there. We couldn't quite figure out what we wanted to do, so we had to step away for a little bit, and we came back in here last night and figured it out. Late night layout sessions.
I think we got everything good to go now.
The desk was a little too small, so you couldn't comfortably sit at it. We brought the chair in. Then our couch was bigger than the measurements that was on the online listing. And then by the time the door came over, our bathroom, which makes our dresser over there pretty small, but it's all working
I
out.
needed room to sit in the toilet.
Yeah, gotta make sure you got room to do your duty.
We were totally fine with the dresser going a little bit smaller and making our bathroom bigger, which then finalized our layout. Now that the layout is all dialed in, Kevin is starting to draw out blueprints to refer to during this whole entire build. Next time on Tiny Home Tours Truck Build, we're gonna grab the tools, start cutting holes and getting to work. This exterior is gonna look completely different. We're starting to get rid of that ugly bumper. We're gonna be adding turn Overland exterior windows and entry door, and then also get our pneumatic cooling air conditioner installed.